All right, let's see. Ooh, how did you find out you were going to be a parent for the first time?
Gosh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
No.
I do not remember how that happened.
Okay. Follow-up question since you don't know the answer to that one.
But I do remember Eric coming.
Yeah, tell me about Eric coming into the world.
Well, Karen had a very old-fashioned doctor. And his theory was, I've never had a pregnant woman who never delivered. And so he said, he'll come when he's ready to come. And so Eric was, what was he, 7 weeks late? Was he 7 weeks late? Was he 3 weeks late? Was he 3 weeks late? He was 3 weeks late. But I remember that was, we kept going to the doctor thinking, okay, when's this kid going to come? When's this kid going to come? And he was just not. He was very happy in the womb. He was a happy guy. He would kick and he'd run and he'd play in the womb. He was just a happy kid. He was very, very active. And he must have liked it there. But I remember we were living in Merritt Student Housing, and we were up. Karen was having a really rough night, and we were up watching late night TV. And then her water broke, and it was a Saturday night. And we thought things were going to happen soon, but the contractions weren't close enough. And I think I fell asleep that night because I was just deadbeat tired. But I think Karen spent the whole night in the bathroom leaning on the towel rack because she was just miserable. And in the morning, it was a Sunday morning, probably about 6 o'clock, Karen goes, I think it's time to go. So we packed up, and I think I had my Buick Skyhawk at that time. I had this Buick Skyhawk. I remember I made her put a towel and that on the seat. Because I didn't want her to soil my my car seats. But we drove her to the hospital, and back then they didn't have the epidurals and all the other good stuff. I mean, she went cold turkey. And Eric was 10 pounds, 9 ounces. He was a big kid.
He was big.
And he was 3 weeks late, so he was well baked. And you talk about pain and anguish and suffering. Mom paid to have him come in the world. Plus, he broke his collarbone coming through the birth channel. So he was a big kid. And the thing I remember, it's just, birth of a child is amazing. It's a miracle. But Eric came out. When he came out, he had this big head of red hair. Cutest thing you ever saw. I remember the nurse taking him and putting him in, back then, pretty sterile. It was a big stainless steel tub to weigh him and check him all out. And she put him on that stainless steel thing, and I don't know how cold it was. But man, it was like he was not going to put up with that. He was trying to jump out of that thing and run. He was squirrely. He screamed. Man, he was a screamer. When he came out, he was not, you were very quiet. He screamed. He had a set of lungs. But he was a blessing. Then I remember taking him home. I can't remember how long we were in the hospital. I don't know if we were there very long or not. But I remember pulling up in the Skyhawk, and we had to get a car seat. And, you know, it's all kind of, when you're in the hospital, you have all these people taking care of you, and it was kind of like Christmas. You get a new gift. Man, when I remember taking Karen down to the car in the wheelchair. She was holding him. And then we had to put him in his car seat and get in the car. And when we got in the car and we started driving, we looked at each other and go, what have we done? We can't do this. We were scared to death. Then I remember our first night. I can't remember if, I don't know if he was colicky or not. Karen would know that. But I remember we could not get him to sleep. He cried the whole friggin' night. And I remember it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we just said, this is it. Let's open up the window and let's just pitch him out the window. Get rid of him. But we could not get him to stop crying. We lived in like an apartment complex. I'm sure we kept everybody up because when he cried, he was loud.